Arr, you mateys. Arr, get that booty.
Ready for that pirate adventure? Arr.
Today's review is on Yakuza. What's it called? Like a Dragon.
Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii.
There you go. Long
title. Not a long title at all.
Not at all.
Very short. Very short.
This is the first Yakuza game I have ever played, and oh boy, let me tell you, I fell off of it pretty quickly. I haven't fell off of it. It's very Capcom-y, I guess you would say.
Are you saying it's very Asian?
Very Asian. That's what I was going to go for. Oh boy, this game, I think, is very interesting. It's very interesting, man.
It is interesting, yeah.
Like, I enjoy the combat in it. The story itself, you play as a Yakuza. What's his name?
Goro Majima or something like that.
What's his actual name?
Goro Majima or something. Yeah, I think. I don't remember.
So basically, you play as a Yakuza.
He's been in other Yakuza
he's been in other ones. So you play as a previous Yakuza that loses his... He gets amnesia, and you don't know why. Like, what happened to him? He gets stranded on a beach, and a little boy saves his life. Noah, annoying little shit, saves his life.
Goro Majima. And he basically, like, this is what bothers me about this game, right? Okay.
It jumps from, like, this is my task, now this is my task.
That's normal.
Like, what's the main story of it, though?
Wait, what?
That's what I'm saying. Is like, he shows up on the beach.
Yeah.
He has amnesia. And he's just like, I need to figure out, like, what's going on or who I am. And then they're like, he finally figures out that he's a Yakuza because of all of his tattoos and stuff.
Yeah.
Then he figures out that the Yakuza, getting into the story a little bit, the Yakuza took on the
it's a great story.
Yeah, the recycling of the toxic waste.
Yeah.
So they can earn money at this island, and that's where he originally was supposed to go to, but somehow he got amnesia, which we still don't know
Apparently
how.
he did go there. He was there.
Okay, he was there.
Yeah.
And then there's this cult that's part of that island that's upset that the Yakuza's there.
Yeah.
And then after that, he decides to take over a pirate ship and go to the pirate land, which is Madlantis. He goes there, and then he wants to get into pirate ship battles.
Coliseum.
So he can fight the main bad guy of the whole story.
Yeah.
And then after that, it turns out his ship's not big enough or have enough crew.
Yeah.
So now his other task is to go find crewmates and build up his ship.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
It's just a lot, man.
Oh, yeah. You haven't played an RPG game.
No, I have not. And that's what's throwing me off about it. I'm getting mixed into this story, and I'm very confused. And I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Am I fighting in pirate ships, or am I going to this island? Am I doing this? Am I doing that?
Well, it's all leading up to that one thing.
I know it's leading up to it. I know what it's doing, but I feel like it's just like a lot of pressure. It's just like, it's just so like, I'm like, fuck, dude. And then I have this kid that's following me around. Like, and his father's trying to beat him. And kid violence in this game.
That dad is not nice.
Yeah, Jason.
But now
his name's Jason.
Yeah,
by the way.
Jason.
Fucking Jason, dude. By the way, the kid violence in this, like as soon as you appear on the beach, someone fucking Spartan kicks a kid. And you're just like, oh, that's what game we're playing now.
It's not funny, but yes.
Yeah, but anyways, Yakuza, this is the first Yakuza game I've ever played, and it's very goofy. It reminds me a lot of Saint Rose. And the combat in it is very button smashy, I would say. You have two different modes you can go into. You can go into the Yakuza mode, or you can go into the pirate mode. The Yakuza mode is more of a doing brawler type thing, and then the pirate mode is more of a little bit stronger but slower attacks.
Yeah, and with swords and stuff.
With swords and stuff, and you can switch between the combat play, which is pretty cool. I played about how many hours do you get into?
I'm probably like 7.
7. I'm probably about like 4 or 5.
Really?
Yeah, I don't
thought you
think
were
I'm
further. Huh.
No, I thought I was too, but I don't think I'm that far into it. But so far the game is goofy. I don't know. Is open-ish world, and I just don't know how I feel about this game, man. I don't know if it's a game I'm gonna like. It hasn't hooked me. Like at first it was super fun, but now it's just kind of it feels repetitive.
Yeah, there's definitely a very quick drop off. So like the last game, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, it's a long game. It's like 60 plus hours long.
Yeah.
Very extensive. And a lot of the stuff that the reason why it's so long is that you have this main storyline you're going through, and each chapter is roughly 45 minutes to an hour of game time. And there's 16 chapters. And then or 17 chapters, something like that. And but then the thing is, you get distracted very easily by side quests.
Where
like this thing will pop up, and you got to go do this thing here for this person. And they introduce you early on to like all the like mini games that are scattered throughout the world. And in Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, there's like 15 or 20 mini games that are almost in a sense of their own game, which is kind of insane. But they get really extensive and really out there, and that's where you kind of like lose a lot of the time. And then you just like start going off on these mini games. The next thing you know, you've spent 6 hours taking photos of pedophiles on the side of the street in their Pokemon Snap like experience. And the next thing you know, you're like, oh, I still have the main story I need to go do. So let me go do that. And then you invest 60 hours in the game. And then also just like leveling up your character and stuff like that. You need to do some grinding at some point, and that takes a while. In this game, I think the biggest problem I have is that they took a lot of those mini games and brought them over in here, which there's almost like too many in such a condensed story that I think they probably should have like cut some of those things out.
Yeah.
So that there was more focus around just like the story and a little taste of some of those. Like I'm glad there's certain things that came in here, like the Segway riding around in Hawaii. That was from the main game. I'm glad that exists because it makes it easy to get around. There's some that are like very simple, like the Aloha tours. You go around, snap photos of things. I'm okay that exists. You don't have to do it, but it's there. But then there's some that's like the vocational school thing where you have to like take these exams. Like that's fine, but at the same time, it's like in order, like you have to do 10 of them to get a crew member, and it's like I really need a crew member, and I don't want to have to sit here and do 10 exams to like get a crew member. And so some of the things you have to, there's a point where you are progressing the story nicely, and then it just like now you have to grind for like an hour
It's very
or two.
daunting.
Yeah,
Like it's very daunting. And then also like even with the story bits, right? It feels repetitive.
really.
Because like I was following along with the story in the very beginning, the first couple like 2 hours or so.
Yeah,
I would do a combat session, an arena style thing, and then after that was done, I moved right into a next arena combat situation. And then the third one was the final boss, and it felt repetitive to me. It felt like I was just constantly like, okay, fighting. It didn't feel. It feels like that's all it is with the main story. It's just combat.
there's a lot of that. Yeah,
Which is fine. Like I get it, but it's not a game that's going to. The story's silly and goofy, and but it's not hooking enough. And then the ship battles is a whole different thing. You know, like those are fun, but once again, I can see that being the same way with a combat situation. Is that it's going to just get repetitive, and goofy, and repetitive. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm getting a good tutorial skill system thing. Like I'm playing on the PlayStation 5 and the triangle button keeps popping up and I don't know how to set that off. I get it. Your meter gets filled up and you can do your little triangle thing, but only at a certain moment.
I think that's when you do a certain dodge. If you do a successful dodge, then you can like activate that to do like a hardcore hit. You can go in your menu and look at old tips that have popped up and read them and stuff. So you might have to just go back and like do a little reading there. But it is like they throw a lot at you, and it's like sometimes hard to remember everything that they throw at you.
They throw so much,
especially
man.
if you like take a break from the game and then come back to it. Oh shit, what was I doing? What are my moves? You know.
But you are right. I feel like it's saturated with minigame stuff.
Yeah,
I think that's where I'm getting like thrown off on it. So
it was like the pacing for me, like when we were out because early on you're just out in the islands and you're getting introduced to that ship combat stuff. Like I think all that stuff was good and like paced well. But once I got to Hawaii, then they like put you in this new thing where you have to do, like, again, the grind, and that's where it kind of slowed down quite a bit. And it's cool seeing some of the crossover stuff in here, like, you know, Revolve Bar, for example, like that was the main hub in the first game, or in Infinite Wealth, where you go meet with the bartender, and he even makes mention to like some people that were down on their luck previously that were staying there. That was your characters from the main game. And then there's like a lot of those. There's a couple other characters that are crossed over. The cult was from Infinite Wealth, so you actually encounter with them on the main island, or the main in Hawaii, in that space and stuff like that. So there's a lot of like crossover with the base game. That's kind of cool to see it carry through in here. But it's just, my biggest issue is I was expecting it to be more like, they sell all this stuff that's like really cool and exciting, like the ship battles and like the fighting combat and this, that, whatever. And then it just kind of doesn't feel like it delivers to the level that I expected it to.
Okay.
In most cases. Same with the Animal Crossing and Infinite Wealth. Like, I was really hyped about them having an Animal Crossing game, and then I got into it and I was like, there's just some stuff here that's kind of tedious, more than I like it to be, and it kind of pulled me away from that experience. And in here, the ship battles kind of almost do the same thing, where some of the management is a little excessive in my book. But I do like the ship battles. They're basic enough where it's like easy to jump in there and figure it out.
Basic.
But it was just like, it was different than I expected, and that was it's not bad. It's just like and then the other thing too, it's like you got introduced to the little like dog kingdom, or the animal kingdom that you created on like Rich Island at the very beginning, and it's like I haven't been back there in forever. I'm like, there's all these things you get introduced to. I'm like, when do you go to this?
When do you go back to this stuff and like deal with it?
Yeah.
So
yeah. I do like the combat in this. I mean, it is button mashy, like you said, but it's kind of fun going from here, having come from Infinite Wealth to this game. Infinite Wealth is hard.
Turn-based, right?
Yeah. It's turn-based. It's very challenging. You can only use items at certain times.
Yeah.
So whenever you start your turn, you have to like either use items or you attack. You can't do both. In this, it's like you can just pause whenever and just use items in your inventory and like heal yourself up. So it makes it a lot easier to not die.
Yeah, that's another thing that annoys me is the pausing system to use an item. I kind of wish they had like a wheel
or something,
even a wheel to stop time.
Right.
Use it and go from there.
That would be ideal. Yeah. But the combat does feel good. There's light attacks, heavy attacks. You got a block a situation you can do. You can jump up, do some stuff. There's a nice variety there. There's also madness mode that kind of turns you into like 3 people and lets you attack like much faster and quicker and take people out and stuff. That's always fun. There is
which the madness mode is different compared to what mode you're in already. So for the madness mode, if you're in your, I don't know what form it is, but I'm going to just say Yakuza. If you're in your Yakuza form, you'll turn into 3 people and they'll all attack and stuff like that. For your pirate mode, there's
pirate mode is called Sea Dog.
Yeah, and you'll send out, what is it, sharks or some shit? I haven't unlocked it yet, but I played it in the demo. So, game is very, very unique in the most odd ways, and it's not a bad game. It's just a lot of things they could have improved on, and I felt like this game was mostly meant to be, in my own opinion, a DLC to the Hawaii one that you played.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, because the Hawaii map is the exact same. None of that's changed.
Yeah.
I don't even think there was, as far as I've seen so far, there isn't any new locales or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I do, again, love that just with the combat, it's a nice breath of fresh air to have, like when you encounter, like there was always bad guys walking around in Hawaii, and I always try to avoid them because it was annoying having to go into a turn-based combat scenario every time I found them. Now when I see them, I'm like, I'm just going to go fuck them up because it's so quick to like get in there and fight them and take them down. And especially once you get stronger and stuff like that, it's like it's like easy money, And it's like the money gathering in here is really nice. There's a lot of nice quality of life upgrades to the turn or the non-turn based aspect that I really appreciate. But it's a good game. It's just not a great game, and that's for me. I was bummed because I was so hyped on this game.
Yeah.
And it doesn't quite deliver what I was expecting it to.
So if you would have played this game before Hawaii, would you enjoyed this better or Infinite Wealth?
I don't know. That's a good question. I have no idea, actually. I mean, I think Infinite Wealth is, I still like have a soft spot for Like a Dragon, the first one. That one was so good. The story was really engrossing. I don't love the story as much in Infinite Wealth, but I do like it a lot still, and it's grown on me, and I'm like really into it now. This one's good. It's just not. It's not like blowing my mind or anything like that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would have liked this better. I would have enjoyed some of the gameplay stuff more because there's just so much. Again, there's so much stuff that it's like I've already been there, done that.
Yeah.
In this, that it's like, okay, I don't know. I don't want to have to be reintroduced to all this stuff again. I just want to skip it and just focus on the main story part. But like at a point, you have to do some of this stuff, and I don't like that they force you kind of into doing stuff you've already done.
Yeah.
But and I also don't love the characters in this as much as in Infinite Wealth and then in the past game. I think Goro is really cool, but like to your point, Noah drives me crazy, the little kid. Jason's not a bad character. I like the chef guy pretty well, but the collection of characters I don't enjoy as much as in Infinite Wealth. Like there's just they're all weird and quirky and interesting. Like you have one guy who really originally tried to rob you in the start of the game, and then you eventually are able to you become friends with him afterwards because like you give him a second chance, and he's like, oh man, I can't believe you would give a guy that just tried to rob you a second chance. And it's stupid, but like the character is actually kind of interesting and has like a lot of layers. And then there's a girl who tried to kill you, and then you become her friend somehow, and then you don't know if she's gonna like backstab you or not. But it's like this weird amalgamation of just like misfits that are all together that somehow like jive and work well together. Mm-hmm. And this one's also some misfits too, but it's like Jason's character right off the bat I just didn't like. So I was just like, I didn't buy into like, okay, you have this kid, you're this drunk dad who, and then all of a sudden he's like, I'm back on the ship and let's go out here and do this. And I love all you guys. It's kind of weird. Like, he flipped a switch really quickly and I didn't love that.
Mm-hmm. Well, because he was staying on the island because his kid has like asthma or some shit, and that whole story beat is just kind of fucking stupid.
Yeah.
What I also think is fucking stupid is this Yakuza is running around Hawaii with this kid following him along. Like, it's kind of fucking like I get it if his dad was dead and he was like he found his kid and was like, hey, you can come along with me. That would have been a better like story. But his dad's on the ship hanging out, letting this dude that has amnesia run around with his kid to fight people.
Well, especially when they got to Hawaii, he was like, all right, we're going to split up. All right, Noah, you go with Goro.
What the fuck?
It's like you're willingly letting your kid just go run off with this dude in Hawaii that he's never been to. Like,
I have a feeling this is a little bit of spoiler alert. I have a feeling kid's going to eat it.
Oh yeah,
because like as you're playing the game and you progress through the story, you're talking to Goro and he's like doing like an interview type thing, and around his neck he's wearing the necklace that the kid's wearing.
Oh shit, interesting.
Yeah. See?
Oh fuck!
So I have a feeling they're forcing this like bond because there's certain moments in Hawaii where you can bond with the character that's with you, which is only the fucking kid.
Yeah.
So you're bonding with this kid. So I have a feeling the kid's gonna eat it, and that's what they're trying to push for.
Interesting. I'm really curious about this whole thing, like where this leads to at the end, with him like being on the stage and them doing the whole.
I like this part.
Yeah.
To be honest, like it's very interesting. It's like Goro is going through, like when you open up the game, he talks about it, and it's like it's like a documentary.
He's narrating the story past, basically.
And that part's interesting. And another part that I really just, the game's fun. I know I keep hating on the game, but what really annoys me is the text chat. Like it kind of gets to me.
That is one of the things that's the the whole Asian theme thing,
fuck, man,
this one
voice actors.
This one has a lot more of it than Infinite Wealth does.
Does it?
Infinite Wealth, all main stories are all written and stuff like that. Yeah. This one has a lot. I think it was just because they were just trying to get it out quickly,
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't voice act everything. But yeah, there's a lot more text chat in this and main story stuff than there was in Infinite Wealth.
And plus, like the opening, what it reminded me of the opening, the whole style and stuff. It reminded me of those like cheesy '80s action movies. Like I'm a single guy, I can take down like 18 people, which he does. Mm-hmm. It's just, it's cool. But I don't know, man. There's something about it. I don't see myself like being hooked on this game.
Yeah.
I can see myself going back to it and playing it and like enjoying those little moments. But after a while, I feel like it gets repetitive for me.
Yeah.
And the mini games like they force you to go to, it's just kind of like, I really kind of like, I get it. Let me do, but yeah. And then the whole Facebook thing, that's fucking weird. Like you wave at people.
Oh yeah.
And they'll add you on your like, what did they call it? Like friends list or whatever.
I forget what it was. Yeah.
And you like just build up your reputation. And
Yeah, they had that in Infinite Wealth as well.
So
same
weird.
mechanic. Yeah. It's just a bunch of that stuff where it's just like they put a bunch of just shit in here just to keep you engaged in the game and do more stuff. There was also, in addition to that, they also had a love finding app in the last game. They might have it in here too. I don't know, but you basically go to like a Tinder app and then you go meet up with people and you have to like shower them with love and text messages of like, oh my God, I love you. Like all sappy like stuff, like mini games there. And then they had a story thing that was centered around. Well, they had the Pokemon Snap like game that I told you about. They had the Animal Crossing mini game that was pretty extensive. They had all kinds of like little mini games you can jump around and do. Mario Kart comes in at some point called Dragon Kart. Yeah, it's probably in this too. I don't know yet, but it's so funny. But yeah, it's a good game. But I mean, it's like for me, I was expecting this to be like a 9 out of 10 for me, and I think it's probably more like a 7, possibly.
Yeah, I
is
think
where
I'd
I
give it
kind
a
of sit
6.
with. Yeah, so I was kind of bummed. I was expecting so much more. It will probably be on my top 10 list, but it's gonna be at the bottom. Yeah,
10. Yeah.
So, but some cool ideas. I give them some credit to like they did a lot in a year before like to bring this thing out, but it just doesn't quite deliver the way I had hoped. So, my recommendation for anybody that hasn't played a Yakuza game, I think this is a good entry just to kind of get your feet wet, but know that there are some major caveats that we talked about with like just the lack of dialogue, voice dialogue. It can get kind of boring and stale at some points and grindy, but it's a much more digestible version than like the Infinite Wealth 60+ hour epic that just like will eat up so much of your time.
And it's not turn-based.
And it's not turn-based. Yeah.
Can you compare this to another game? Because I can't. I think it's unique in its own way.
Yeah, you're right.
Like it's a brawler.
There's a little bit of that, like you said, like Saints Row kind of equivalency ish, but yeah, it's pretty unique.
With Saint Rose, I'm going with like the overarching
style.
theme, the style and stuff. So it's just
No, not really.
Yeah.
Which is cool, and then I mean they did ships better than Skull and Bones, so that's cool.
Oh yeah, ship battles are fun.
Can you customize your ship yet or no?
No, I haven't gotten to that part yet. I'm still like trying to find enough people and stuff. So I might jump back into it but this is a game I can play for like an hour and be like, How do you feel about the skill tree? Was that how it was in Infinite Wealth where you earn money to buy your skills?
No, there actually wasn't a skill tree. So the way the skills, it's much less dense in this game than it was in Infinite Wealth. So in this one, just for people listening and stuff like that, you have 2 basic upgrade things. You have one, which is your ability upgrades, where you go into like 4 different categories to upgrade your Sea Dog. Mad Dog was the other one, one that's your whatever. So Sea Dog and Mad Dog, you can upgrade to unlock new abilities. And then you can also upgrade general stuff like your health and your stamina and this, that, whatever with money. And then you also have rings that you can get that you can equip to your character on all 10 fingers. And those will give stat boosts.
Yeah.
In Infinite Wealth, the way that works is by completing people, you unlock experience points that level up your overall character and then also your character class. Because every character has a class that you can be, and the classes are what unlock certain movesets.
Okay.
And so you can be like, I am by default a hero class, which gives me hero powers. So I turn into a character that has a big ass Negan bat with a little barbed wire at the end of it, and that's how I use to take people out and kill them. But certain people, like in the last game, you could have been you could be like a music star, or you could be like one guy was a homeless man, so he had a homeless character. So everything's centered around the idea. Like in this one, I have a guy that's a mechanic. So he has like a
A wrench.
or whatever that you can use as an attack, and he like pulls out a wheel that he can throw and launch at people. So you have you can change out classes and upgrade those classes, and that will upgrade your stat boost and unlock new abilities the further up you level. But there's a lot of nuance to the leveling, and then you can also then equip gear to your character, like head, body armor, this, that, whatever, that gives you additional stat boosts on top of the upgrades you get from the leveling.
Okay.
So a little bit more density there. But I like it in here with the simplicity of just like buying from like 4 trees, and then that's your ability set.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Just
Yeah.
yeah.
So, but yeah, it's a interesting game. Yakuza, like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii.
Yeah,
is
say
the
that
name.
3 times fast.
Yeah, very, very challenging. But it's a good game. If you want something that's like 14, 15-hour experience to like take a break with and try a Yakuza game, I think this is a good entry point. But don't expect like to be mind blown. Essentially,
Yeah, it's not mind blowing.
Yeah.
It's fun. You know, you don't have anything else to play this year. For a casual gamer, this will get you like, if you enjoy brawler type games, this will keep you occupied for a while.
Exactly. I agree. So yeah, check it out if you're interested. It's on console now, PlayStation, Xbox, all that good stuff. PC as well.
PC.
Available for, I believe it was $50 if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check. No, $60.
60.
Never mind. Full price game.
Oh, okay.